Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Wednesday, the 20th day of April. Here we go. I just want to try in today's halacha, actually explanation, to try to make some sense out of what Sefiras Omer, counting of Omer, really is. So I'm going to try and give a short synopsis of one of the ways of looking at it. We count the count of Omer, but what does that really mean? So the gist of it could be explained in this way. On the second day of Pesach, just after our redemption, God tells us to bring a simple sacrifice. Omer just means measure, and it's a measure of barley. And we bring a small and simple and plain and humble sacrifice called a measure of barley. And then we call it the count of Omer, and God tells us to count for 49 days after that day comes. So we have the 49 days of the count of Omer. What could that possibly mean, the count of Omer? So a simple way to look at it is that God had just redeemed us, and when He redeemed us, we were on the 49th level of impurity, really like not so deserving of redemption. And God stretched out His hand and said, I'm going to redeem you. And then when He decided to redeem us on that day, we were not so worthy. So we bring a very simple and very humble korban sacrifice, and it's made of barley, which is like animal food, because we're kind of on a lowly level on that day. Okay? And then we count 49 days, and 49 days later, we are approaching and getting to the holiday of Shavuos, and then we are on a much, much, much higher level. In those 49 days, the Jewish people in that first year climbed an amazing, amazing amount of levels till they were on a very high level, high enough to accept the Torah, and they were considered like as pure as Adam, the first man, before he had sinned. So that was a enormous accomplishment. And when they accomplished that, they had gone from the count of Omer, the count of that simple, humble measure, all the way up to a very high and lofty level. And interestingly, the sacrifice that's brought at the end of all that, on the holiday of Shavuos, at the end of that count, are 2 loaves of bread. And not and chametz is allowed now because we're sort of like past that state that we were in at the beginning of Pesach. Now on a much more lofty level, where chametz is no longer viewed as evil and show-offy and puffy, and now we have arrived at this high level where we're proud of our accomplishments. And God says, "Bring me 2 puffy loaves of bread as the sacrifice on the holiday of Shavuos, because now you can be proud and almost boastful of your accomplishments that you have counted the Omer successfully and reached the 50th level." That's one simple way to look at all that happens during the count of Omer. There are many other ways to explain it, but that's one simple one for you today. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.